episodes.
You know these are our favorite episodes.
Yes.
This is Miss Jada. Miss Jada, you want to introduce yourself to the people?
Yes. Hello, everybody. My name is Jada. I am a website designer, as well as a graphic designer and business consultant.
Yes. We're going to get into this episode. She has so many things to offer. We're going to try to get some free game from her. And she's a margarita girl. Y'all know this is our drink, so we're going to cheers to a good episode. Clink, 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 clink.
Cheers.
We're the salt girls.
I was gonna say, Mel, you know you don't put that drink down till you take a sip.
Sip. Of course, before we get into this episode, please remember to like, subscribe, share, and hit that notification bell.
Ding, 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 ding.
All right. So, I got this right off of your page from the services that you offer.
Okay.
Because you offer a lot, which I love.
Yes.
So we have LLC filing, logo design, custom flyers, content calendar, website maintenance, website design, a website revamp, business cards, custom invitations, and social media management. That is a lot that you offer. We started our entrepreneurship journey, so we understand how important it is to have someone like you that can do these things when you're running a one-woman business.
Yes, the one woman show.
Yeah, exactly. You have to be everything in your businesses. So, what if you add all the platforms between Instagram, TikTok, Facebook, Twitter? Where would you tell people to start first to promote their business and to get the word out? What are you seeing in your business?
So that one, I honestly can't pick one.
Okay.
So the reason I can't just pick one is because it depends on the person.
Okay.
It depends on the person's audience, and it depends on what it is that they're selling.
Okay.
So for example, for me, my audience is somewhere between the ages of 25 and 35. So mostly you're gonna see 25 to 35 on Instagram, probably scrolling on TikTok. But then let's say I've had clients who may be in their 50s and 60s, and they do something, say like crocheting or little businesses like that. And their platform will be more geared towards a Facebook.
That's what I was thinking.
Yeah, I would say a Facebook more for that, because that's where most of that age range is kind of staying at now, and they're not too much into, the dances on TikTok, and exactly. Exactly.
I've got to lip sync to what now?
Right.
Right.
Are they really singing, or like it's a lot?
Am I lip syncing?
Right.
So it's a simple, let me just put, hey, I'm selling this today, meet me at this pop-up, post their pictures of their stuff, and keep it going.
Okay. All right. Hold on, because I had another question. As far as, we always end up talking about social media and how we watch countless YouTube videos on the right time to post and the right algorithm. And at this point, we believe that the algorithm is BS. And it's just, some people get lucky and go viral and explode, and some people just don't. Because we've gone and followed all these like algorithm tips, and then they don't work. And then we do something like on an off time with no hashtags and no caption, and it hits 20,000 people. Why?
Make it make sense.
Do you have a secret?
So even that has its own. Everybody honestly has their own algorithm. Exactly. The algorithm has an algorithm. So with that, it could be the person who, let's say, just joined Instagram today, posted something and went viral. Where it could be the other person who's been on Instagram for 5 years. Post something and get 5 likes. But with that, it's really important if you're on Instagram to look at your analytics. Analytics are definitely key. So if you look at your analytics, I know for me personally, let's say on, what's today? Today's a Sunday. Sundays are no good for me. So I don't really post on Sundays. If I post just to stay relevant, I'll post in my story. But Sundays are no good, but I know Mondays are good.
Okay.
So if I do a Monday, my best time is in the morning, probably 10:30 a.m. And this is something that I think everybody should do when you go into your insights and kind of look if you have an Instagram business page, because it does help you out a little bit. Now for me, I'll go on, post around 10:30, and I may get, you know, a good amount of likes from my followers versus me testing it out and trying to post on an off time where I may only get 5 likes.
Did I post this? I'm not getting
Exactly. I'm like, wait a minute, did it go? Like,
let me refresh.
so it kind of really all depends. So that's why I say that the insights are definitely your friend. They're definitely key. Look at your times, look at your days, and then sometimes it can be an up and down too. It's more than just the analytics as well. Mm-hmm. You also want to look at your followers. You want to look at your target audience. Mm-hmm. You want to see, perhaps do something where you kind of profile your followers in a sense, if you want to call it that. So look at some of the people who do like your post a lot and go on their pages, and then you'll probably see the common thread of, okay, this person has in their bio that they're a mom of 2, they love brunch. This other person, a mom of 1, loves to hang out with girl bosses, hashtag girl boss gang. And so then once you start to see the common thread and pattern, you notice, okay, when I make my content, it has to be geared towards that. Right. So you may have to even completely switch colors around for themes or anything of that nature just to target your audience, because essentially it's what your audience wants. Mm-hmm. So even if it's something that you like, it may not be something that they're feeling too much. They may be like, oh, okay, yeah, that's nice, you know, still scroll and pass by.
That's where I struggle, because I'm like, I like it, y'all gonna love it. What do you mean?
Yep.
Right. But and I do it myself too. I'll be like, oh, I love this, but if I just use this certain font, somebody else, it might stand out to somebody else more than me. It's normally the stuff that you sit and think like, oh, you like that.
Right. That's how we feel about the girls that go crazy. Like, what?
Yeah, it's like, that's
what caught your attention? Yeah. Yep.
I feel like I've discovered a hack with 2 types of things to post in a reel: babies and dogs. Anytime I put my niece or my puppy in front of a reel, it goes crazy. Yep. It doesn't even have to be about them, but people love babies and puppies.
Yes.
Yeah, no, dog videos and videos with babies or just little kids, because it's cute.
It's
so
cute.
It's cute and it's entertaining. Right. So people love that. Entertaining.
So we need to have Bella sitting here.
Yeah. And then alternate between our niece and nephew here. So I know that we put a lot of work and effort and attention into social media, so all of those platforms, but how important is it to have some landing page or something where after that you've piqued their interest for them to go to kind of that call to action? Like, how important is it to have a website, a Google Doc for them to fill out, whatever, and what would you say would be the best like call to action to get people to actually do something after they've liked your reel and all that stuff?
One, I'm going to tell you, you've been doing your research.
I have.
Because she knows some things. You use the word call to action.
Yes.
And call to action is a big thing, so I'm glad you asked that. Calls to actions are very big. And I would say it's really important, because if you don't have that next step, it kind of leaves your potential client or customer in like a, what do I want to call it? Kind of like an abyss, like in this lost area where now you left them, instead of capturing them, you left them to kind of go explore somewhere else. So you definitely want to utilize like having something in your bio, even if it's just a landing page that has your logo on it and perhaps subscribe now. But then another way of that, sometimes not even just a landing page, because again, it depends on the product and what you sell. So everybody doesn't necessarily need one of those. But even if you have something like a email list, so email marketing is also really big. So that call to action to kind of push them, or another thing that you could do that I do personally, I do have a subscriber list on my website, but I use like Linktree, so I have all my different links, so people probably just kind of click and explore on their own. But I personally have a message that I send out personally to people. So it might say, "Hi, my name is Jada. I'm the owner of the Web Spot LLC. Here are some of my services," or "Thank you for following me. These are my services. Please let me know if you have any questions." And it kind of makes it more personal. Okay. Whereas once you kind of do the thing like, "Oh, go click here to subscribe," it's still good, but it can be a little bit more robotic. Right. And people kind of nowadays, people like the personable approach. So if they feel like this is personalized, like you took your time out to write this specifically to me, that kind of gears them to your business and your brand a little bit more.
As opposed to like an auto-generated message.
Exactly. Mm-hmm. Okay. Yeah. And then you can make them specific to person to person. Mm-hmm. So sometimes I might even go look at someone else's page and look at what they sell, and it might be something that I like. So you don't want to be business all the time. Right. I might say, "Oh, by the way, I looked at your page. I like what you're doing. This is something that's great. Have you ever thought about this?" Offer a free tip or offer just free advice and kind of build the relationship and connections that way. So.
Yeah. I love that advice because it doesn't always have to be, what am I going to get from this? Exactly. It can just be like, let's start a relationship and then you build upon that. Yeah. Right.
For call to action, can you explain to the people what a call to action is?
Sure, of course. So, a call to action, or another way you'll hear, is a CTA. The CTA is basically a command that you give your potential clients, customers, or whoever is viewing your content, a command of something that you want them to do. So for example, a call to action could be you posting a sale that you're having, and in your caption you're saying, "Click the link in the bio." That's like the most commonly used one. Okay. Click the link in the bio, or double tap if you like this post, or click the button in the corner to share, save for later. Those are some of the top ones that you'll see on Instagram. Mm-hmm. And it kind of is the action that it prompts the next step in the pipeline for the business. Right.
Mm-hmm. So ours is kind of like subscribe notification, all that. That's like the beginning of ours.
I like that. That's good advice. Yeah,
because you don't want to leave them in that limbo. Like now that you got them, like continue to make them a part of your family. And the email list is so important. And we found that out a couple months ago when both Instagram and Facebook went down. And if that was the way you were doing your business, like what do you do at that point?
Nothing. Yeah, like everybody at that point in time, if you didn't have something else set up, it was kind of like just you lost out on business for that whole day until you fixed the problem.
That was a long day for people.
It was.
Yeah. On my Shopify because I made sure that I had another platform.
Yeah, I remember I kept logging in and
kill the app,
logging out, logging in. Maybe I need to re-download it.
Texting your friends, "Is Instagram
working?" You too.
And I feel like it just happened last week. There was something going on where my feed just disappeared.
That happened to you too?
Yes. And there was something going on with Instagram for like maybe like an hour or so where the feed disappeared and it almost looked like a new page where I wasn't following anyone. And then when the feed came back, it was like post from 2 months ago. I'm like, what's happening? What's the guy that's ahead of Instagram?
Adam.
What's going on, Adam? I'm like, what algorithm changes are you making today?
They're making so many changes.
They are all the time.
So remember, I logged in last week. I had made a post, and then I went to go make another post an hour later. And it just looked like it was a whole new page, and I had no followers on there. And I'm like, wait a minute, what happened here?
And I was like, well, I don't want to post because if everybody else's look like this, they can't see it. Is true or false? Okay. Is there a magic number of postings, whether it's the post, the reel, the story, the live? Some people say you have to post 3 times a day. Then other people say, yes, the quickest way to get shadow banned. And then there's all these magic numbers.
Right.
Or does it just go back to like your analytics and what works for you? Because I feel like your analytics is going to tell you your prime time. It's going to tell you that golden hour where you should be posting.
No, so I would say that's a false for this magic number. It does go back to the analytics and the insights, because somebody might have a bigger brand and then a bigger amount of followers where they have the following to only post 1 time a day. Whereas someone else may only need to post 2 times a day. So it really kind of depends, and that's something where your analytics won't necessarily tell you how many times to post, but that's something that you have to test out.
Right.
So I know I've probably for myself tested me posting twice a day, and they used to say the most common is posting 3 times a day at least. And I do still think that if you have to have a number, I'll say 3 times a day should be like the most that you should post.
Okay.
No
that's
more.
A mixture of like a post, a story, a
So I'll say that's just with posts.
Actual post.
Yeah, it's just actual posts. So I say that because the way that the algorithm's going now with Instagram basically is competing with all the other video platforms. So TikTok.
TikTok has stories. I'm like,
Exactly. So
that's what I'm on Instagram for.
they're competing with each other.
Right.
So, which two are they? Facebook and Instagram are connected. So that's why they have a lot of the same features. But the owner of Instagram is actually trying to compete with TikTok. So that's why it's more video based on Instagram now. So posts are still good, but they actually limit how many people see your posts now.
Right.
So posting videos actually gets you more engagement and likes and views on your page than actual plain posts do.
Right.
And then even with the posts, the likes don't even matter anymore.
No.
It's actually a matter of shares and saves. Those are the two. It's something called a point system. So there's a point system with Instagram.
Oh, hold on.
Okay, listen, this is free
Listen.
game. And I'm just going to interrupt you just say she does offer, it's a free 30-minute consultation,
Yes.
correct? So write this down, because this is part of your concept now. You'll get your 30-minute
No, you
consultation.
will get
It's a free game. So
Yes.
point, and what's it called? Point
It's
system?
a point system.
Hold on. And let's be very clear. Likes don't matter.
Yeah, likes
In
don't
life,
matter.
they don't matter either. You do what you want to do.
Exactly.
Yeah,
Live
they
your
sure
life.
don't.
Live your life.
So with this point system, likes actually only count for 1 point. Shares, let me see if I can remember this. Likes count for 1 point. Saves actually count for 3 points, and shares are for 4 points. So
This is like mind blowing. Like I'm really like, what?
So now
we knew everything.
your call to action should be share or save this post.
Yes,
Share it with a
that's
friend
really
or
what you
save
want.
this for
We
later.
this is the practice this week.
yeah,
And
that's
report
really
back.
what you want.
We're back.
You really want that because that kind of increases the engagement. So in the sense of if I share it with this one person's probably sharing it in their story and sharing it to another person. So that's kind of how that trickles down.
Okay.
And then if you want to talk about reels or just regular videos that you post on Instagram, I would say if anything, probably do those 3 times a week as well, 2 to 3 times a week.
Okay.
Now, even those can be a little challenging where you kind of have to test it out yourself. Because some people can thrive off of posting a reel every day.
Okay.
Some people's pages I've seen it's nothing but reel after reel after reel.
There's like no post.
No
at all.
post.
Not one post.
Yeah, no post, it's just reels.
Like it's a TikTok.
But I know a lot of people think that it's because reels give you so much engagement and so many like new followers that they only want to post them.
Right.
But that really all depends on how you work your reels because each reel doesn't give you the same result.
Right.
So I'm gonna give you guys another free game tip.
Okay. Hold on.
There's actually a way with your reels that you can find what audios are trending before they become popular and everybody else is using them. So what you do is when you're watching reels and you look at the bottom of the screen, you know how you normally can see the sound that they're using? So have you ever seen the ones that have the arrow pointing up?
Yes, I know that trick.
Yes.
I only use those.
Oh.
Yes. Those are the ones that have the arrow pointing up are the ones that are trending audio sounds. But sometimes they can have the arrow and be trending, but it's already been past a certain number. So you want to make sure when you click on it and you see all the videos people have made with that sound, that it's not past a certain number. So you want to be somewhere in between, I believe it's 1,000 or 1K to maybe like 10K at the most.
you see like a million, it's like too many people use it.
Yeah, like too many people use
Yeah.
it, so it's not really as a trending sound. So you want to kind of catch it when it first comes out in between that range because not too many people used it yet.
Yeah.
Okay. No, that makes sense. Anyway, I'm thinking about our page. We had, I think we went a week straight where we were hitting 20,000 views every single day. Wow. And then the next one was 340 views. What happened? Where'd y'all go? What happened? They got tired of us.
No, their 340 is our people.
Right.
I don't know about the other like 19,000.
Where are you guys? Come back.
Where'd you guys go?
No, I think I've figured out like a little bit of a sweet spot for our podcast page at least.
Mm-hmm.
I try to post like right before 12.
Okay.
Because people are about to go to lunch, and they start scrolling, and right before 5 o'clock, because we all know we wasting time on the clock trying to wait till 5 o'clock. So that like 4:30 to 5 o'clock hour, I feel like when I post a reel during that time, it just, I think I posted one last week, and I was like, it's been up for 5 minutes and it hit 5,000 views, and it was that like 11:30, people about to go to lunch.
Yeah, that's always a good time. Like I think that if you do have to set times, I would say once in the morning, and it depends on what you sell too. Like someone I know who has a health page actually would post early in the morning, maybe like 5 or 6 a.m. because people that would get his product, they kind of wake up early. They're into like
That's
meditation. Exactly, it's the lifestyle. So they would post at that time. My stuff is more, for businesses, entrepreneurs. So I probably will post early in the morning, maybe 9 or 10, when people are kind of settling into work. Probably just took the kids to school, and then you want to post how you said right a little bit before 12, before people go on their lunch break. I would say no earlier than right before 12, no later than maybe 1:15ish for the lunch hour. And then you want to post maybe around 5 to 6 or 4 to 5. There's 2 different times for after work because you have some people who do get off at the 4 to 5 hour, like the 9 to 5s. Right. And then the 5 to 6 are the people who did get off, but they're now just getting home, getting settled. It's before they're making dinner, and it's like right after rush hour, so they're just getting into the house. Exactly, the wind down time. They're probably, before I get up and cook and get everything, let me just scroll on here for a little bit. So those will probably be like the best time frames to go and post something.
Yeah, that makes sense. I'm like, I feel like 6:30, 7 o'clock, people are like home, getting dinner ready, putting things away.
Getting ready to start the day all over.
Right, exactly. You're just like, okay, I don't have time to scroll. I'll see it tomorrow. I had a question in my head and I just lost it. I don't know. Did you have another question?
What's a service that people are asking more for your input on or for your help with?
I would honestly say the service that I get a lot is either between LLC filing for people who want to start actually getting their business together, and I get it from both ends. I get it from people who already had businesses and they finally want to like put the paperwork behind it,
right?
And then I get it from people who just had the idea and they just want to start a business from the ground up.
Okay.
And then if I don't get that, I would say my next biggest one, because they're kind of hand in hand or they come close. I would say the next biggest one would be my websites. I get websites a lot.
Okay.
So with websites,
reach out to you about a revamp because I'm tired.
Same. I'm tired of my website.
Yeah, like websites.
Not our website, another website.
Right.
I do them differently. So I do the website revamps, I do website maintenance, and then I do single page websites.
Okay.
So for people who probably are just starting out and they may only have like 5 or 6 products, then that's something I would say is good for them. So I get those a lot.
Okay, that's cool.
Or even if it's something that's not a product-based business and they want to do something like, what do I want to say? Like a portfolio-based type website, that would be good for that too. Okay. So like photographers or models, stuff like that.
Gotcha.
So those would probably be like my 2 biggest services that I get the most.
Yeah.
Well,
So I think people forget about.
Give me headaches. That's why I ended up hopping on Etsy because I was just gonna post and put my description
up
and
there.
be done, and I ran away from my own website, but then I came back.
Yeah.
I came back. I was like, I already paid for this. Yes.
So I think people forget about it because we're so focused on all the social media.
Right.
Like that's how like we're hearing that people are making their business successful and all that.
Right. Like, I went viral on TikTok.
Yeah.
No, I'm a millionaire. You're
Yeah.
a liar.
Yeah. Selling your course for 10K.
Right.
10K a month.
10K a month.
But even with websites, it still is social media too. It's still a social platform, and then even with that,
100%.
it's good because you can integrate your Instagram feed
Right.
on there, so it kind of all can go hand in hand.
And some platforms are like, they make it easy for you to share to Facebook and Instagram. Like they know,
Yeah.
they know how important social media is. So it's like all coming together.
where you post it here and then it ends up there, but that's actually important because how you said where they all working together. Automation is something that's key.
Right.
You definitely want to have like automated systems going because it makes your life so much easier.
Oh
Yeah.
yes. Oh yes.
So much.
If you can
easier.
automate that newsletter, that post, that reel, that whatever you can, 100%.
That saves you a lot of time. I do want you to talk about your vendor package because I think that that's something people need to know about, especially with pop-up season coming, or we're literally in pop-up season right now. So yeah, talk about your vendor package.
Sure, yeah. So I'm just getting ready to roll out vendor packages. Pop-up season is here where all the pop-up events are outside, inside, and at festivals and all of that. So for newer businesses or even businesses that have been, in the game for a while, I'm doing custom packages where they come with your business cards, retractable banners. I do other type banners if you want them as well. You also would get custom tablecloth if you need custom tablecloth. So basically anything that you need, all the essentials for a pop-up. I pretty much would put your logo on it, create the logo if you don't have one. And that's pretty much it, just to keep it real simple.
Yeah.
It's basically just all the essentials that you would need as a vendor.
It's important. Like, I've done so many of these things by myself. I'm like, if I could just outsource this and say, Jada, help me, I would have done it because it's especially if you're a product-based business. So like my shop stuff, I'm trying to focus on my products, and then at the same time, I'm like, okay, I gotta get a banner, I gotta get a table. How many chairs do I need? All this. So it's great to have someone like you that can do that, and then I can focus on my actual products and what I want the table to do, like all the fun stuff.
Right.
You can do all the hard stuff. Okay, you can do the hard stuff, and let me do the fun stuff.
Right. That's actually like the whole point of it. That's actually the whole point of my whole business anyway. So like I call it the web spa because I love relaxation and spa things and all that self-care.
Yes.
So it's basically, my tagline is relax while we work. So you guys get to relax as the entrepreneurs and the business owners. And I'm going to do the work for you while you get to actually focus on the things that you really need to focus on. So you want to focus on creating the product, shipping the product. I'll help you with the branding aspect, the marketing aspect of it. And then it kind of take some tension off, because like how you said earlier, like even for myself, sometimes I have to take breaks because you're everything. You are the business owner and CEO. You're the content creator. You're the customer service rep. Like you're everything. So sometimes I know that can be overwhelming and tiring, and like everybody needs help. So
Absolutely.
Yeah.
it's definitely a good thing.
I definitely went into the shop like, I could do this. I'm just gonna go to university. I'm gonna figure it out, whatever. And then I have times where I'm like, I create all these things, and I'm like, now I have to take a picture, now I have to post it here, now I have to create this reel, and I have to. I'm like, I don't feel like it.
Yeah.
I don't feel like it. It has to be done and it gets done. But you're a one woman show.
Yeah.
It's a lot. So
And you're human, so having
Exactly.
to have to do all that stuff can be taxing sometimes.
Exactly.
It can, and burnout is real.
Burnout is real.
It's real. I have
It's so
experienced
real.
burnout.
Yes.
Yeah.
Like I had to face myself when I first started the business. I actually came to a point one time where I took probably a month and a half off from the business because I kind of just went into it and didn't realize I'm one person and I was getting like 8 sites at one time, a logo here, a logo there, social media management. And I was doing my own social media, someone else's social media.
You have to do your own thing. You're promoting your own brand.
It can definitely be a lot, but I definitely like to promote self-care and just self-care activities, even if it's something for 5 minutes. Like sometimes I might
Take time to
just take a moment and read a book or watch a show or Netflix or something and just kind of escape and then come back to reality. Like, all right, now let's get started again.
Right. Like refresh.
Yeah.
Exactly.
Then I just want to say that the aesthetics on your page talk about brand identity and having like a brand. It is very clear. Even when you showed up
thank
today,
you.
I know that's Web Spa. Like I know that.
Yep.
And if you go to your page, you know you have a very consistent, very aesthetically pleasing homepage. So I mean, I feel like you know what you're talking about.
When I see other people post it, I don't have to look for your name. I'm like, oh, that's Web Spa. I already know. I'm like, that's where I aspire to be.
Yes.
When you see my post, you know it's me.
You know
I gotta
it's you.
get there.
Yeah.
Yeah, I try to use like the lilac or lavender color.
Branding.
Yes, it's definitely branding. Yes, from the hats, phone case, everything.
Be your brand.
Yeah.
Definitely be your brand. Like I even have shirts with my logos, my mask, logo on the mask. Walk outside. And that's actually really, really important. Even with designing anything, to have that as aesthetic is something that's really important because the colors is actually something called color psychology. So I don't know if you guys heard. You guys heard of color psychology before? Yeah. So that's something that's actually really important too. I know a lot of people come up with these business ideas and they throw a logo together, but they might just pick, let's say they pick orange and yellow and whatever because they like those colors.
And then thinking about how that could affect there's that whole color therapy.
Or it's like it just looks nice, but it's like you're a let's take McDonald's for example. They are yellow and red. So let's say someone else has a business that sells spa products and they're picking those same colors. It doesn't really get those emotions from other people because when you really look at it into the color psychology, red is desire, it's hunger, so kind of you want the food. Whereas
like, I see these candles, but I really want McDonald's.
I really want McDonald's. Exactly.
Why am I hungry here?
Why am I right?
Exactly. So it kind of doesn't really match up with just any brand with any color. You kind of have to look into it a little bit.
That's definitely. I like fell into that like rabbit hole of like color therapy and psychology and all that. I was like, but it makes sense. And then I was like looking around my apartment. I was like, okay, calm, blue, yes, okay, I'm where I need to be.
Think about it.
I was like, I'm where I need to be.
It's like, oh, this is something that I like, and then you look at it and like, oh, this is this color, that color, this means that. Oh, no wonder I like that.
Exactly.
And then sometimes it can work out. Like for me, it just happened that purple is my favorite color, so it just happened to work out that way.
Do you have any other questions, Joyce?
I don't have any other questions. I was so excited for you to come today because I'd taken a look at your page and I know Melanie mostly had been setting this all up today. So I just want to free game for real.
No,
because
for real. Like, my mind is like...
I have seen, and we've talked about like countless YouTubers, gurus that we followed, and we try to take all these notes, and those notes change next month, and then they change again, and they change all the time. But I think what you shared with us today is something that you can apply time after time after time. You can tweak it every once in a while because, of course, you need that little revamp and a refresh. But I think this is actual like things that you can use in your day-to-day business.
this is like the foundation.
Yep.
Like these are fundamental things.
Yeah.
Yeah, like most people get you hyped up on it's this way, you have to post this many times and use these hashtags, but really it's all a trial and error.
Yeah,
you kind of have to find what works for you, what works for your page, what works for your audience, what do they like, and then even when we're talking about like posts or reels, it really also depends on your audience too. So you may have an audience that likes seeing your posts more than they like seeing your reels. Right. So it kind of really just all depends on what they like, because it's for them essentially. So
our audience likes ratchet. Anytime we post something like a little ratchet,
they do.
Or we curse somebody out, those go crazy. Those go crazy. But we try to give y'all health and wealth. Y'all don't want health and wealth.
We don't want that.
Y'all want ratchet.
Bring us.
We can bring it on.
On next episode.
On the next episode, how we don't niche down, even though we talk about niches. No, but again, thank you so much for coming.
Thank you.
Definitely gave so much free game. We're gonna make sure that we have all your links, your website, your contact information up. It's pop-up season. Let her help
Yes.
you so that you can relax and focus on the fun stuff.
Yes, take a look at her page. I mean, there's
It
going to
speaks
be,
for itself.
yes, it's amazing, and I think people can learn so much from you.
Thank you.
I'm excited.
Yeah.
I'm excited for all the things you have to come.
Yes.
Yes, so many things, so many projects I'm working on. I'm actually working on my first physical product. So
Very
can
nice.
Can we get a sneak peek to talk about it?
I am actually, aside from, wanting to do self-care and all of that, I'm actually big on planners. I think that helps a
Oh
lot.
my God.
We are planning
Listen,
people.
would that-
Margarita planner. She's our girl. She's our girl.
I just got a new planner today, and I'm like, you see this planner? In next month's planner, I'm talking about making this planner. Like, yes. Yeah.
Yeah, like I'm big
so
on
like
that because it's like it really personally helps keep me organized.
absolutely.
Yes.
Like if not, at one point I was the person with sticky notes, so I'd be sticky note everywhere, mirror, wall, wherever I needed it to be, so I could see it, so I remember. But having that actually keeps you on track. It keeps you motivated in a sense. It actually could be like a motivating technique. So if you have that on there, you kind of see it. And I'm a person where I don't like writing things in my phone too much. I like to actually pen and paper, write it down.
There's something about writing things down that just
Exactly.
sticks. Yeah.
It actually helps to exercise like your mind. So when you're sitting there writing it down, that helps to ingrain it into your memory, and then you see it, and then you have that sense of accomplishment when you get to check it off.
Yeah,
And it's like, okay, I listed 5 things to do today, and I got all of them done. Oh, okay. Now I think I could add a little bit more to this list, or you're really moving. So it kind of helps keep a pace and keep on track. So I'm actually working on trying to put my own planner together.
Keep us posted.
Yes,
If you guys have any things that you like in your planners, let me know. And I
like free paper. I like extra paper.
the extra like notes
Just note-taking
area.
paper.
Yeah, I know a lot of planners don't really have too much of that. They might have like a page or two.
But they have it at the end.
Or at the end.
I like it to correlate
Like
with
in
what's going on in the
between.
month.
Yep.
So
Yeah.
that would be my input. Extra paper.
Yes.
You have any input that you could think of?
I never used to like dot grids, and now I do like them because I think it's a free space for your notes, but you can turn that into anything
Whatever
you
you
want.
want.
You can turn it into whatever you want. So
Yeah.
Yeah, no, that's good.
Yeah.
Good to know. So I'm gonna definitely keep that in mind when I am planning this out. And then I wanted to kind of go hand in hand and put like different quotes in there.
Yeah.
Like, of course, motivational quotes, things about self-care, health. Because I kind of wanted to correlate with what I was telling you guys earlier that I've been doing the mental health talks. So I want that to kind of go a hand with the entrepreneur and mental health because that's something that's really important. So I'm trying to put those two together.
Yes, I love that.
And yeah.
Exciting. And before we close out, I do want you to speak on the mental health talk.
Okay, sure. So, as of last week, I actually just started something called Let's Talk, and it's called Entrepreneurship and Mental Health. So it's a conversational series that I just started, and I partnered with a licensed therapist. So we basically do it on Instagram Live. We don't have an actual time frame yet of how often we're going to do it. I'm planning on doing it maybe once or twice a month. So we'll probably do one maybe in 2 weeks from now. But I'll definitely keep you guys posted.
Yes,
and let
please
you
do.
know. But we kind of just have an open conversation, so people ask their questions in the comments as far as like how to find a therapist. There's questions on how do you deal with being a entrepreneur and balancing that with regular life. And then it's even not for just only entrepreneurs. So we even have people in there who have family members who are entrepreneurs and they want to ask questions as far as how do I help or cope or be a support system to someone who is an entrepreneur, because there's two different sides. You have that family member who's not the entrepreneur, so they kind of see it as, well, I don't understand what you're stressed about, or I don't really see what's going on.
Yeah. What do you even do?
No idea.
Yeah.
Exactly. So we kind of break down and talk about that stigma that when people hear the word entrepreneur, the only thing they see is the glamorous life, the popping bottles, the wearing all the expensive designer clothes.
The work that was put into it.
Yes. So it actually gets real. Everybody talks about like their real accounts and personal experiences. Like, you guys see that I am posting about having events, but you guys don't see that I was just crying 5 days ago for like 4 hours. Exactly. So I'm gonna get into that portion of it.
Good. I'm excited about that. I think it's something important to talk about. We talk about it all the time. Burnout, the non-existence of work-life balance, especially when you're an entrepreneur.
Yes.
When you're dating an entrepreneur, you don't know that you're going to be an assistant, a full-time assistant.
Yes.
And like Roy's raising his hand. There's a lot of aspects to talk about. I'm super excited for that. I don't know. I think I'm done. But you dropped a lot of free game.
Yes. Yes. We're so excited to see all these new projects develop too. So please keep us in the loop.
I would definitely keep you guys in the loop.
We have our vendor packages, make your life easier, mental health talk, like just go follow her. Just go follow her right now.
I try to make everything easy for everybody.
It feels like when you start something you can do it on your own. You can't.
No.
You need help. I'm telling you. Get the help that you need.
Yes, please.
Please. Maybe just knocking back margaritas in between.
Yeah.
To cope with the stress. Are you going to be teaching healthy coping mechanisms? Because we just teach drinking.
We can throw it in there too.
Again, thank you.
Thank you.
Excited
Thank you for having me.
Of course.
to make it. And that is a wrap on this episode.
Bye.